These are some highlights of our previous year's events.
It's amazing. You know, you can actually then have lots of different options and put some science behind your design decision, which then again also helps to make it stick, right? Once an approval happens, there's science behind it. The client isn't going to be second guessing it 3 weeks later.
Really, this is what keeps people that are running businesses up at night, is where am I going to get my labor? And how am I going to find productivity enhancements that are going to fill the gap of not having that skilled labor?
Now, fully adopting Revit is one thing, but I would say it's probably about 5 to 8% as far as dipping their foot in the water and kind of investigating it and getting used to it and trained on it. It's probably 20%. So just to let you know, if you have not dipped your foot in Revit, the tsunami is coming.
Because if we just sit back and say, well, Revit doesn't do that, then we're not pushing our industry forward.
And the kinds of benefits that they're reporting, right? Reduced errors and emissions, better collaboration, less rework, lower costs, better cost predictability, shortening the schedule. This is very difficult to achieve old world, right? You can't do it just by bidding harder and putting in tougher terms and conditions and yelling at people more at the job site, right? You really need a fundamental change, right? You're bringing certainty. You're bringing certainty to what is inherently a very uncertain process.
We know you're never always going to just have Trimble. And we have to be able to take it out to partners like Bentley, Autodesk, ERP systems, estimating systems, you name it, other robotic total stations.
Is you have to build the model like it's going to be built. From a concrete standpoint, we get models from design teams where the columns go from foundations all the way 20 stories up to the roof. So we have to go through and split that up, and you have to have modelers that understand how things are built. We have a client who does concrete lift drawings in-house, and they have their BIM department, who some of those guys are MEP coordinators and they don't know concrete, and they'll model the top of a column up to the top of the slab. When all of us know the top of the column obviously goes to the bottom of the slab and the slab pours over. So it's understanding that how you model is how it's going to be built. So people that are doing the models have to understand how things are going to be built.
Yeah, again, my name is Carlos. I'm with Man Mechanical Company. We're mechanical contractors in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been using Pinnacle services for about, I'll say maybe 4 to 5 years.
I think we just started working with Pinnacle in the last almost 2 years now, I think, when I took on this position, and it's helped me a great deal try to keep within the budget that I'm told I have to fit into.
In terms of BIM, you got to stop thinking about it as what you do at your firm. That was sort of Dotto 1 thinking, you know? The new way to think about it is you got to start thinking about, no, BIM is this thing that's being used by teams on my projects, right? I mean, silos of excellence aren't any good anymore. It's about the team. You're making a model, think of how many people could benefit from that model and how many different kinds of analysis can be done from it.
A majority of the construction is shifting, to highly dense populated areas where the designs are expected to be more complex, more vertical construction, buildings interfacing with the infrastructure like the roads, the highways, the bridge systems. And this is all being driven by an increase in demand due to population growth.
Having the tools is one part of fabrication. The other part is having the training to create a fabrication manufacturing environment in construction.
Who's tired of hearing about Revit right now? Need a little break from that? All right, there you go, doll.
When I talk about the big three, I'm talking about CMC, Harris, Gerdau, in no specific order. They've had technical structures for many years, but one of the biggest growth areas I see is the regional players.
We've been using Pinnacle for about 12 years now, so we were one of the early adopters, and I would say right now we use them for about 99% of our sheet metal detailing, 60% of our plumbing, piping detailing.
You have an awesome outfit here in Pinnacle to support you in this. You don't think you have to do this all on your own, right? but you've got to get all the rest of the people on your teams comfortable working with you.
Ability to track revisions and kind of go back to previous models and compare changes and things. To me, this is really significant for companies to monitor change and manage their almost like internal project management.
Who here can call tomorrow and get a top-notch guy to come to their job site? Anybody? You know, you've got those few friends in the back pocket that you can call. We don't have that right now. So how can we use technology to get us there?
We've been using Pinnacle now for going on 5 years.
And I think really it's thinking outside of the box, and it's coming up with that idea. How do you want to fabricate?
Imagine you bought a car, and 6 weeks before delivery, the dealer called up and said, "Oh, that $30,000 car is going to cost you 18% more." Well, why? Oh, no, it just does. People just accepted this stuff.
What has been the greatest benefit of outsourcing for you? Bill?
Cost. I think cost is the main thing.
How do you eat an elephant? One small bite at a time.
We're structural engineers, and we work a lot with architects and contractors and design new buildings as well as retrofits. And the one thing I wanted to say about working with Pinnacle is that it's been very great for us, and it's allowed us to really focus on client service and working with our architectural clients by making the best use of our in-house staff.
I'm old enough that my recent memory's kind of gone to pot. Could you repeat the question?